You niggas ain't built like that. Run around talking like a dog when you gon' bust a slug, man. Niggas get killed like that. Acting like you bang for the set when you ain't blood cuz, man. Blood gets spilled like that. Niggas saying really they the plug, but they talking to the judge, man. Get your cap built like that. Cause niggas get killed like that. When you ain't built like that. You niggas ain't built like that. You was never on the block, you ain't never dodged a knock. You ain't never fought another crew holding down the park. You ain't swam with the sharks, you ain't wrestled with the gators. You was never fucking popping, you ain't got no fucking haters. Bitch niggas like you make me watch out for the traitors. When you run some real niggas, mind your behavior. I will be the nigga ass that I'm laughing like I'm jaded. Get your fucking mind blown like a cartridge on a Sega. You niggas want attention. They don't want the war though, talking all that shit, but you got a glass jaw, hope they never deliver. They got that DiGiorno, this that Walking Dead flow. I eat a rapper torso. You ain't the same man when you off the microphone. You ain't never broke a bone, you ain't never had a scar. You a certified pussy, so don't make me pull your car. I'm a certified prophet, respected like the word of God. Cause you ain't got the heart, nigga, you ain't got the heart. You ain't about to finish any beef that you start. You ain't never been a soldier, little nigga, play your part. Claiming that you spark, but you ain't got the heart. Cause you niggas ain't built like that. Run around talking like a dog when you gon' bust a slug, man. Niggas get killed like that. Acting like you bang for the set when you ain't blood cuz, man. Blood gets spilled like that. Niggas saying really they the plug, but they talking to the judge, man. Get your cap built like that. Cause niggas get killed like that. When you ain't built like that. Run around talking like a dog when you gon' bust a slug, man. Niggas get killed like that. Acting like you bang for the set when you ain't blood cuz, man. Blood gets spilled like that. Niggas saying really they the plug, but they talking to the judge, man. Get your cap built like that. Cause niggas get killed like that. All my niggas ride for me. All my niggas ride with me. I got niggas that'll die for me. All my niggas ride with me. Niggas ain't. Tell me you see it. I'll show you what you nigga know. I go and get this album, man. It's my Captain Tall War, man. Lost tapes.
King Ty really one of the realest. I said, if I drive by, show them killers. Like I got 9 lives, I got 9 wives. I said, 5 wives with them bitches. I'm spitting fire bombs in your city. I got like 8 or 9 niggas with me. And when you're ready to die in a minute, one way, you're in the business. I get offended, I fuck niggas spend it. Talking they get it, but niggas is timid. Rappers is off in the limit. Taking your parking lot pimping, what more can I give them? I've been the hottest forever. Why would I lie about cheddar? I can do better. I just put loyalty first. Royalty coming whenever, pull off in the cheddar. Currency on me, you sweater. My fault like wearing a sweater in summertime weather. Hate is so salty, no pepper. You know they season go clever. I'm with the rebel. Used to put bass with the treble. Baking a cake in a kettle. I used to cook up the work. Now I just cook with the oil. Gotta keep foot to the pedal. Yeah. Let me give it gas on the highway. Let the music blast on the calm days. Put the Glock down in the 3-part. Put it together like Menage. Bomb page with my enclave. Got my mom made. Ain't no time waste. Eating front stage with a fine day at a fine place getting violated.
Listen, I already told these niggas. You understand? I called up King Ty. He said, what's up? I said, what's good, my lord? Listen, he like, listen. These niggas ain't ready for none of this. You understand? I said, listen, if the nigga ain't my West, he ain't got it on his arm or his chest. I don't give a fuck about the nigga. It's just me and my niggas. We roll to you.
I got the hammer, you running, man. Come through your window like rubber man. Snapping your neck like a rubber band. Talking my jaw like the sun is set. He told me murder you rappers. Cause sending you vertical actors. Now got me coming with verbal attackers. I might attack you type physical too. How y'all be rhyming the way I be shining. I'm blinding these rappers like Mr. McClue. These haters miserable, we indivisible. Look at these haters like they got no clue. They hold the ones and the W's. Really, bro, don't be too comfortable. If you ain't cut from the cough, cause some of the boss, then we do not fuck with you. Cause you went last year. I told you the same shit last year. You talking that trash I have, but now I come kick your ass here. Your jaw like glassware. You pull up now rocking no mask there. Okay, if you spot us, you know how you got us is over. You saying your last prayer.
Come on, man. UPK music, man. Fucking with it, man. It's locked. It's hard to be you in the world you can't trust. And speaking vanity, but they ain't saying much. Got a swag, nigga, bad bitch blush. My power of perfection, so they keep stumbling, ain't good enough. And plus, stalking revenge. I don't know if it's love or it's lust. You know my bio, I ain't giving up. And if I gotta be corrupt, I can't live it up. But truth is, I need more bucks. I bear odds like a crutch. And if you want people, make it cold cut. I ain't your typical nigga. I'm a professional with red phone. Probably transform to the celestial. This the home of the truth, and it's where it stays. This world trying to manipulate me in the maze. But I gotta get it on in these last days. I'ma do it my way. I ain't trimming my ways. Hey, I'm coming for the glory. Hey, the shaky devil's out. He ain't solid, he falls. I feel when you're real and you're really just the only one. And I know they gon' cross. That's why I still stay about. On this road, on the lotus, I feel when you're real and you're really just the only one. These niggas covered in another spirit. If it ain't authentic, I ain't trying to hear it. Not a word. He brought Molly, I brought brimstone. I got my feet to the ground like a Flintstone. Ready to snap like a wishbone. You get with it or you get blitzed on. I'm a spectacle to him, they don't know what he on. My retribution gonna be sweeter than a honeycomb. I love my women, they stack dollars for me. Pick up the highs, he like a father to me. He got me swinging like Ray Charles. You not intertwine me with they flaws, boy. I'm flying to protect towns. Mighty man, nigga, that's word to my stepchild. You shot up the clock, I miss you, shawty. Pray they lost and the angels gonna get you from me. Hey, I'm coming for the glory. Hey, the shaky devil's out. He ain't solid, he falls. I feel when you're real and you're really just the only one. And I know they gon' cross. That's why they still stay about. On this road, on the lotus, I feel when you're real and you're really just the only one. Shalom Israel, Yahweh Shem Yahweh my sisters and house El Thabah Shem Yahweh. This is the Thursday class, Pittsburgh. The police officer coming to one. It's the Ashley BK under Commanding General Yohana. Started out at 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York. We are not in no way affiliated with any other Hebrew Israelite groups. I've been in those truths since 1969. And we teach that Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians are the children of the Most High God, Yahweh. The only heritage of people that the Most High God cares about. So today, the topic is going to be, now is the time. Now is the time to serve the Most High God. We into these scriptures. We'll do some of these laws, the statutes, and commands. We're going to dip a little bit into what's going on in the world. So before we start, let's jump into that real quick. Okay, so I don't know if you know what's going on in the world as far as this, the brother Ahmaud Arbery, I think the trial's about to start or whatever, and I think they were trying to, say that the brother had some marijuana in the system. Of course, when it comes to Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, they're always going to try to find a reason, or some type of stain to use against
when you go into court. That's what they're notorious for doing. They're notorious for doing that. So it shouldn't come as a surprise. This is what they do. So let me show this. Okay, I believe it good. All right, so again, you see what's happening with the brother. I guess the trial starting and whatnot, and they're gonna try to convict these devils. If you didn't know, some devils, I think it was 3 devils, shot the brother in the back while he was jogging, and we got into a scuffle with one of the heathens, and he was shot. One of the devils, and basically with the trial. But it doesn't surprise me that they're trying to say that the brother had marijuana in the system. I think it was like a little small amount, but regardless of what he had in the system and what they tried to say, it was wrong for how they what they did to the brother. In the course of this kingdom, Esau's kingdom, the white man feels empowered. He feels like there's nothing that can come up against him. He's that spirit of you see with Donald Trump and all these other I guess you could say prolific white men in his kingdom. And we know that there's nothing, to the Most High, but in his kingdom, that they get the nod whenever it comes to whatever. But so we'll be with that, that brother's spirit, and maybe it may rise again. And hopefully, we get a conviction on that. And then also there was something going on, I think, in Chicago recently. A cop had murdered a young boy. I'm not 100% certain. I think he was a heathen boy. I know that the other one was I think a young girl that shot in the drive through, and the devil, the owner of the franchise and whatnot. He said he went as far as to say that the parents failed the young girl and the young boy, which which is a wrong thing to say. I mean, you don't know what's going on in the homes, how it happened, and why it happened and whatnot. But to just issue a statement like that just shows his ignorance. And again, that's Esau. That's what he does here in his kingdom. So he has no thought to what he thinks and how he feels. He just believes that he's the prince, he's the shining prince, and what he says goes. But according to the Most High God, he's nothing. We'll get into that eventually. So again, now is the time. And when I say now is the time, who are we talking to? Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. Now is the time to serve the Most High God, Yahweh. Now is the time to remember what Yahweh or Jesus Christ, as they ignorantly call him, what he taught. And what he taught was what the Most High God gave to him. We need to get back to these laws, statutes, commands of the Most High God. So, of course, we're always referring to Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. No other race of people, no other nations. The Most High only deals with Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. So, first scripture we're going to pull is Romans chapter 13, verse 11. All right. In that, knowing the time, that now is high time to awake out of sleep. Again from the top. 13:11. In that, knowing the time, that now it is high time to awake out of sleep. For now is our salvation nearer than when we believe. Knowing the time. The time. These are the ending times. You can see by the plagues, the way the white man's kingdom is just being attacked, being brought down little by little. The Most High God is tired of this place. He's tired of America. He's tired of the oppression that's been put on his children, his people, Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. We have been destroyed in his kingdom. We have had everything taken away from us. We've been lied to. We've been taught the ways of the heathen. We're out here doing their customs. Just like recently we had Halloween. Brothers and sisters in the world, celebrated Halloween. Put on costumes and painted their face and went trick or treating. And these are customs of the world. We know that. So knowing the time, okay, it's the ending times. Plagues. You got COVID. COVID has taken brothers and sisters and out of here like it's nothing. Slovakia, I just had a brother from slavery just got taken out of here. And I believe the reason was COVID. That's what they were saying anyway. But in America is being terrorized. We know that, and what happened in 9/11. America has been, attacked with terror. And these are the plagues, these are the curses that are going to come on America because of what they have done to the children of Israel. And when I say children of Israel, I'm talking about blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, the seed of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, right? The 12 tribes. Okay, so the oppressor's power is dwindling here in America. It's weakening, right? And it shows, and also by what's going on today, how he's treating blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, which he's done for the last 500 years, and beyond that, he's shown his true character, which is the devil, which is what he's called, the devil, the oppressor, the devil that the Bible speaks about. That's his true nature. And he has no regard for the young or the old. He has no care. If you're a black, Hispanic, or Native Indian, he's going to treat you accordingly. And that's, like a devil would. Okay, so again from the top. Romans 13:11. In that, knowing the time, that now it is high time. High time. What does it mean? Like, we're in the latter stages. This is the a stage or a period that's active in, the white man's, his wickedness. And a time for us to come back to the law, statutes, commandments of the Most High God. This is the time now. It's not the time to say, well, I'm going to get in the truth eventually, or or the truth be present, and you just just blow it off and just think that oh, I got time. You don't know when Christ is coming back. You don't know when your Yahweh Shai is going to make an appearance, and you don't want to be caught, not serving the Most High God. So now is the time. Now is that high time, that active time to serve the Lord our God. Now it is the high time to awake out of sleep. To wake out of sleep. Who's sleeping? Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. We are asleep. We're the ones that don't know that we're the Israelites, that we're the chosen of the Most High God, Yahweh. We're the ones that are in the Christian churches, following the lies and deceit of the pastors who have a vain agenda to get a congregation. Okay, for now is our salvation nearer. Salvation. What's salvation? Deliverance from the effects of sin, evil, destruction. Now is your salvation, black man, Hispanic man, Native Indian man, woman. This is your deliverance. This is what you've been waiting. This is what you've been wanting. This is what you've been waiting for. Even if you don't know it, this is that thing that you have been thinking about. This, you know what I mean, that you want and that you need. Even if you don't know what it is, you can feel it. You understand that there's something going wrong here in this kingdom. How you've been treated, the things that you've been taught, the things that you see when you go out. You see they're not right with our people. You go out and you see, black men walking around, effeminate, black women walking around, carrying themselves like men. It's not right. It's not our nature. It's not who we are originally as people, the blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. These are the ways of the heathen. These are the customs and practices of the heathen. So that we are the ones that need deliverance from the effects of sin. Okay, so that's what it's talking to. It says that now that it's high time to awake out of sleep. So now is our salvation nearer. And again, that hour is blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. This is not for anybody else. This is not for the Edomite, Esau, the white man. This is not for the East Indian. This is not for the Arab. This is not for the African, the Hamites. This is for us. Okay. We have been destroyed. And again, deliverance from the power and effects of sin, failure, or destruction. Okay, destruction. What is destruction? We have been, like I said, we brought over here on cargo slave ships. We were, we're in the Christian church. We're in the Muslim mosque. We're worshiping idols. We're celebrating holidays. We're hating each other. We're murdering our brothers and our sisters. So we are the destroyed. It can't be talking about nobody else. It has to be talking about the Israelites, blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. And if you are a black, Hispanic, or Native Indian, you know that what the scriptures are talking about fits you. It can't fit nobody else. Who else could it be for? Okay, so again, we are destroyed people. And understand that the oppressor is the author of all confusion. What do I mean by that? The Most High God is not, the author of confusion. It's the oppressor. It's the devil, the so-called white man, the oppressor. He is the author of all confusion against the Israelites. He's the one that told you that pork is the new delicacy. He's the one that told you that it's okay to smoke weed. You understand? He's the one that tells you that, Christmas is for, the children. It's okay to celebrate Christmas, Easter, Halloween, Thanksgiving. He's the one that told you that, the 4th of July is for all Americans, even though he doesn't consider you an American. He doesn't consider you what is it, 3/5 of a human being, 3/5 of a man or whatever. So the white man is a deceiver, a liar, and that's why it's called the devil. That's what devil means. Okay, so that salvation can only be for Israel, for blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, because we're the ones that need saved. There's nobody else that needs saved. I mean, does the Jewish man need saved? I mean, he owns the diamond district, right? Does he need saving from the diamond district? Does the Arab need saved? I mean, the Arab owns the chicken spots. Does the Afghan need saved? I mean, he just got, welcomed into America, into certain cities, and he's been given, housing, food, jobs, and everything. While our brothers, the Levites at the border, have been, beaten, and sitting back into Haiti to hell. But so it can't be talking about nobody else with black, Hispanics, and Native Indians. It can't be talking about nobody else. So understand again, the oppressor is the author of all confusion. We need to, quit smoking weed, celebrating holidays, going to the Christian church and the Muslim mosque, because that's where our confusion is coming from. We have to understand that there has been a propaganda, white supremacy put among us, that has led us to these things to keep us destroyed and keep these people above us. Okay, so again from the top, Romans 13:11, and that, knowing the time, but now it is high time to awake out of sleep. For now is our salvation nearer than when we believe. Okay, what does it mean to be nearer? It's within that time. Okay, it's a short distance. It's just here. We done already been in our slavery in Egypt thousands of years ago. We've been in slavery to all the other nations. We've been in the Assyrian captivity, the Babylonian captivity, the Grecians. Here in America, we're still in slavery to the Romans and Grecians now. And this is it. This is the end of the slavery. Black man, Hispanic man, Native Indian man, woman. If you understand this, know that our day is near. It's near. How do we make this come faster? By keeping the laws, statutes, and commands of Most High God. Keeping His laws. That's how we bring, the Most High, get the Most High's attention and bring Yahweh Christ back, so we can destroy this devil, these Edomites, and rule again. And like I said, I would say, like I can't keep it 100. This is what you want. This is what we want. I don't know no black, Hispanic, or Native Indian man or woman doesn't want to rule. I don't know. And if you don't want to rule, then I don't know, who raised you, because I know that it's an air thing, or it's rightful so that a black man is to rule and a black woman is to be beside by a black man. All right, so this is in us. This is who we are as a people. And the Most High God said that we are to rule over these other nations. This is not my saying. This is in the scriptures. All right, so again, when it says that our salvation is near, it means it's there. It's at a short distance. It's in reach. It's in reach, black man. If you want to get out those projects, you don't want to be oppressed by this devil anymore. You don't want to be lied to. The salvation is right there. All you got to do is keep God's laws. We've done everything but try that. We've done everything but try to keep God's laws. All right, one more time from the top. Romans 13:11. And that, knowing the time, that it is high time to awake out of sleep. For now is our salvation nearer than when we believe. Okay, now is that time, black man, Hispanic man, man, woman. Get in this truth. The HBK under commanding General Yohana is the only truth. Don't waste your time, like I always say, getting in with the other Israelite groups or the Christian church or the Muslim mosque. We know, in the world, we've been Christians for I don't know how long, and that hasn't worked for us. The Christian church was shut down during the pandemic, but the HBK wasn't. Fake Israelite groups, that's Christianity. That's Christianity as well. And the Muslim mosque, that Islam has been destroyed. Islam is not as big as it used to be. But we've done everything but keep these laws, statutes, and commands. And again, the HBK and the command of General Yohana is that safe haven that you want to get into. But like again, we have classes Monday through Friday, 7 to 9, and even on Saturday we have a Sabbath service. We have camps here in Pittsburgh every Thursday from about 1 p.m. to about 6 p.m. You can see us down there on Fridays. Teaching the law, statutes, commands of the Most High God. Going to war, teaching our people. We love our people, and that's our job. Okay, let's go to the next scripture. All right, so again, remember I was telling you that the Most High God, favors Israel over all people. Okay, and you got to understand that when our kingdom comes, it's the end of the oppressor's kingdom, the Edomite's kingdom, the so-called white man. Okay, and we're going to put a scripture to prove that. So we're going to go to 2nd Ezra 6 and 9. For Esau is the end of the world. Esau is the Edomite of the so-called white man. That's what he calls himself, white man. But in the Bible, biblically speaking, his name is Esau, and he's the Edomite. Okay, for Esau is the end of the world, and Jacob is the beginning of that follow. Jacob, of course, is our father. Jacob is the son of Isaac, who is the son of Abraham. Okay, and he goes all the way back to Adam. But Abraham is the father of the Israelites. Okay, so he's the father of the Israelite nation. Okay, again from the top. 2 Ezra 6:9. For Esau is the end of the world, and Jacob is the beginning of it that followeth. So when America and the so-called oppressor's kingdom falls, that is when we begin to rise and come back into who we are supposed to be, which is rulers over this planet, under the Most High God Yahweh. We are His children. He is the only God, the only Creator, and we are His children. So we are to rule this planet with keeping His law, statutes, commands. Okay, that's how this planet is set in order, and this is what the scriptures say. Okay. So Esau is the end of the world, and Jacob is the beginning of it that followeth. Okay, so again, Esau is the Edomite. Okay, so-called white man, oppressor. If you didn't know, Esau is the Edomite. Okay, he calls himself white, just like he calls us black. You know what I mean, which is colors. But biblically speaking, he is the Edomite. It's like we are the Israelites. Okay, so the end of the world is, what it says. The end of Esau is his kingdom is going down. It's almost there. We're getting it. Okay, so his kingdom is about to be destroyed. Okay, and that means for you, black man, Hispanic man, Indian man, and woman, that we're going up. Okay, we're going to get back into where we need to be. And again, when it says Jacob is the father of the 12 tribes of Israel. Okay, which is blacks, Hispanics, and First Nation people. Okay, so after the white man's destruction, we come into power, and what we need to do to until that happens is keep God's law, statutes, and commands. That's what we need to do. Okay? And gather ourselves together, like Zephaniah 2:1 says. Gather ourselves together. Gather yourselves together. The children who are not I forgot exactly how it says, but we're not loved by the other nations. Okay, Zephaniah 2:1. So we need to gather ourselves together, and deal with each other, and keep God's laws so we can bring this place down. That's what we need. Okay, again, now is the time. Let's go to Genesis 25. Now so remember it just said that Esau is the end of the world and Jacob is the beginning of it that follows. Okay, so let's get some history on who Esau and Jacob is. Okay, so we're going to start at Genesis 25:20. All right, Genesis 25:20. And Isaac was 40 years old when he took Rebekah to wife. Now remember, Isaac is the father of Jacob, and Rebekah is the mother of Jacob. Okay, so these are two black parents. Okay, Isaac was 40 years old when he took Rebekah to wife. Okay, the daughter of Bethuel the Syrian of Paddan-aram, the sister to Laban the Syrian. Okay, 25:21. And Isaac entreated the Lord for his wife because she was barren, and the Lord was entreated of him, and Rebekah his wife conceived. So Rebekah got pregnant by Jacob. Okay, it's like everything ever happens. A man has sex with a woman, and then a child is born, or a child is conceived. Okay, and believe in that, immaculate conception, and an angel came down and had sex with it. A man put his rod in a woman, and this is how babies are made. Okay, but take the Christianity off it, take the spookism off of it, the ghostly stories, and you get the truth. All right, 25:22. And the children struggled together within her. So the children that she was pregnant, but she had twins. I'm just going to go into that. It says, the so-called Edomite and our father, who's the father of the Israelites, Jacob. And the children struggled together with him. And he said, if it be so, why am I thus? And she said, if it be so, why am I thus? And she went to inquire of the Lord. 25:23. And the Lord said unto her, 2 nations are in thy womb, meaning these are, and it's going to say 2 manner of people. Like, so this black woman has given birth to 2 different nations of people through these children. So they're going to have different mannerisms. They're going to have different characteristics. They're going to look different. All right. The Lord said unto her, 2 nations are in thy womb, and 2 manner of people shall be separated from thy bowels. And the one people shall be stronger than the other. That's us. That's our father, Jacob, the father of the blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. He was stronger than Esau, the father of the heathen, the oppressor. Okay? And the one people shall be stronger than the other, and the elder shall serve the younger. So Esau came out first, and Jacob came out second. But Esau is going to serve Jacob. That's how you know that these people are going to serve us. They're going to go to slavery too. They're going to be our slaves. We were their slaves for for years, but it's going to be their time to be our slave. This is in the scriptures. This isn't priest officer coming to one's words. This is in the Bible. I'm just reading this in the Bible. Genesis 25:24. And when her days to be delivered were fulfilled, behold, there were twins in her womb. 25:25. And listen to this. And the first came out red all over like a hairy garment. Okay, that's talking about Esau. He came out red. His pigmentation in the skin, he was red. He didn't have no pigmentation in the skin. He was red. Like a hairy garment. He was hairy all over. This is just the characteristics of Esau. And like I said, again, if you're in the world, you might listen to this and go, oh, that's racism. But listen, this is what the Bible's saying. This is not what I'm saying. This is in the Bible. And really, I can give a damn what you think. This is the truth. This is the truth, whether you want to accept it or not. All over like a hairy garment. And they called his name Esau. Okay? 25:26. And after that came his brother out, and his hand took hold of Esau's heel. And his name was called Jacob. That's our father. Okay, so Jacob came out second after Esau. Now I'm just going to go into about the characteristics so I'll let you know who these people are. Now, if you're in America, you know that, if you've been here sometime, you know the characteristics of the so-called oppressor, you know the characteristics of the black man. So listen to this. And his hand took hold of Esau's heel, and his name was called Jacob. And Esau at Salaki. And Isaac was 80 years old when she bare him. Genesis 25:27. And the boys grew, and Esau was a cunning hunter. That's your white man right there, a cunning hunter. What does the white man like to do? He likes to go hunt, right? He likes his rifles, he likes his guns. I'm not saying that black men don't like to load up and get their ammo and everything, but Esau is known for his hunting. That's what he likes to do. Okay, a man of the field. That's Esau. And Jacob was a plain man dwelling in tents. That's the black man right there. Jacob was a plain man. He like dwelling in tents. He like to chill in the crib. That's the black man. This is in the Bible, people. That, like I said, you can pull this up yourself. It's Genesis 25:27. Esau was a hunter, and Jacob likes to chill in the crib. He's a regular nigga. That's who we are. We like to chill in the crib. All right. Okay. 25:28. And Isaac loved Esau because he did eat of his venison. He would go hunt, and Jacob, Isaac would love that. He would bring back that food, that meat you get to eat. You know what I'm saying? Like Esau was a hunter. But Rebecca loved Jacob. That's the black woman right there. Black woman. She loved her son. You know what I mean? The black woman. She favors her son. You know what I mean? There you go, black woman. That's you. 25:29. And Jacob saw pottage, and Esau came from the field and he was faint. Okay, so we're gonna stop it there. Basically, this is just showing you who they're talking about, Esau and Jacob. Okay, and just so you know, we are genetically closer to the white man than we are to the African. And the reason why I'm saying is because we're taught through the conscious community and a bunch of lies that we're the same people as the Africans, but Africans are not the same people as us. Actually, genetically, because we come from Isaac and Rebecca, and so does Esau, we are genetically closer to him than we are to the Africans, and that's in the Bible. It's not my words; it's in the Bible. So again, the characteristics: Esau was a hunter, Jacob was a man was a plain man, okay, like a dwelling tents. Esau came out red and hairy all over. This is why they call him the redneck. This is in the Bible. This is in the Bible. If you don't believe me, go to Genesis 25 and read the chapter. All right, let's go to the next scripture. Okay, so now that we know a distinction between the two, we know that who we are, we know that we're the Israelite, the chosen people of the Most High God, Yahweh, which is blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. We know that Esau, the oppressor who he is. Let's see what the Most High God says, how we are to conduct ourselves, how do we relate to the Most High God. So we go to Leviticus 20 and 26. And ye shall be holy unto me. The ye is blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. That's all he's ever talking to. He's not talking to nobody else. And ye shall be holy unto me. Holy means to be separate. Okay? Separate from other people. For I, the Lord, am holy. So the Lord our God, he's the only God. Okay? And he's separate. You understand that? There's nobody like him. There's only one of him. Okay? And his heritage is blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. and have severed you from other people, that you should be mine. So, of course, through Adam come all people. And we'll get into that. Through Adam came all people. But the Most High God chose a certain people, and that's you, black man, Hispanic man, Native Indian man, and woman. That's you. He chose us over all people. And again, this is racism that's in the Bible. All that talk about equality that Martin Luther King taught you, and they teach you here in America to try to keep you, brainwashed and brain dead. That's a lie. There is rank in everything, and there's no equality. The black man is supposed to rule this planet. Period. This is in the Bible, and the Most High God is a racist, and He favors the black man over the white man. That's in the Bible. Again, from the top, Leviticus 20 and 26. And ye shall be holy unto me, for I, the Lord, am holy, and have severed you from other people, that ye shall be mine. Okay, so the Most High God does not want us to, when I say holy, separate from other nations, the heathen nations, which is the Edomite, the Ammonite, which is the Japanese, the Moabite, which is the Chinese, the East Indian, the Arabs. He wants us to be separate from them. We're not supposed to be worshiping idol gods, celebrating holidays, doing what they do. You got black men walking around here with dreads in their head, worshiping the god Shiva. Don't even know that's like an East Indian practice. You understand? There's so many things that we do that we think that, or our customs are it's lawful to do, but it's not. Even getting a shape up. A shape up is an African, a Hamite practice. Getting yourself lined up, whatever. That's an Egyptian or African Hamite practice. We're not supposed to do that. The Most High God wants us out of the Christian church. He wants us out of the Muslim mosque. Why? Because that is destruction for us. Cesar Borgia is not going to do nothing for us. That's the image that you see of Christ in the Christian church with the blue eyes, the blonde hair, white skin. That's Cesar Borgia. The Muslim mosque, of course, that's not going to do anything. Worshiping Allah is not going to do anything for you. Okay, but the Muslims, them Arabs, they kill in the name of Allah, and we know, and according to the Bible, according to the Most High God, Yahweh, it's unlawful for you, to murder. You can, in self-defense, you can defend yourself, but you can't just murder. Them Arabs, they kill in the name of the law. They'll go kill anybody just, for their religion, which is a man-made thing. All right. Again, the Most High God is separate. He only deals with his heritage, which is Israel. And he expects the same thing back from us. He expects the same loyalty that he gives to us. And because we're not doing that, that's why we have been destroyed. That's why he's allowed these other nations to rule over us and to dominate us, because we are not remembering our God. We're not remembering to keep his laws, statutes, commands. We're serving idols. We want to be like the heathens, amongst the nations. We want to be like the nations amongst us. We want to, celebrate Christmas, Halloween, Thanksgiving, all these things. This is our problem. That's been our downfall. Remember, the Most High said he severed us. Okay, I mean, to keep us apart. He divided us from all the other nations. Just because you're here in America and you might be living in a neighborhood where there's some Chinese man living next to you, or some white lady living next to you, or somebody from some other nation, heathen nation living next to you. You are still supposed to keep God's laws, statutes, commands, and Yahweh's laws, statutes, commands. Just because you see them decorate their house with Halloween, in my neighborhood, there's this one Edomite family. I mean, they go all out every year for every holiday. I mean, that's all they do all year is just decorate their house for every holiday. They're heathens. But I know as an Israelite, that's not what I do. That's not what me and my family are supposed to do. Okay. So just because they're there, that doesn't mean we have to, do what they do. Okay. And in fact, Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians are the greatest people to walk this earth. Why do we feel like we have to be like anybody else when we are the best people? I just don't understand it. Why do we have to be like anybody else? Everybody really secretly wants to be like us. Not even secretly, they do want to be like us. But we need to follow God's laws, statutes, commands, period. Okay? And again, the Lord has separated us from us. He severed us from other people. Set us apart, divided us from other people. Again, from the top. Leviticus 20 and 26. And ye shall be holy unto me, for I, the Lord, am holy, and have severed you from other people, that ye shall be mine. Okay, so we got to be separate. We got to keep God's laws. Okay, and that's the only way he shows favor to us, by keeping his laws. The Most High God is not going to be with a sinner. He's not going to be with a sinner. Even if you're an Israelite, he's not going to be with you. You're a sinner. You're a sinner. Period. You're a sinner. Okay, let's go to the next scripture. Okay, so now we're talking about Esau, Jacob, and and how about now is the time, to get in his truth, to do what God says, and it's high time. Okay, so we're going to show you how the Most High God feels about these other nations and how he feels about Israel. Okay, so now's the time. Okay, so 2nd Ezra 6:54. And after these, Adam also, whom thou madest Lord of all thy creatures. Okay, so we know that Adam is, he's, beginning of mankind. Everybody comes from Adam. Okay, all right, and the people also whom thou hast chosen. So everybody comes from Adam, but there's a certain people that the Most High God favors. This again, this is in the Bible. This is racism. If you don't think racism is real, it's in the Bible. The Most High God said everybody's created by Adam, and there's a people that He has chosen. If you're in the world, I know people in the truth understand this, but if you're in the world, if you don't believe this, 2nd Ezra 6:54. This is in your so-called Apocrypha. If you get you a 1611 King James Bible, it'll be in there. But if you got like a regular Bible, a later version, you're gonna have to go get you an Apocrypha, and it's in the book of 2nd Ezra 6:54. And after these, Adam also, whom thou hast made us Lord of all thy creatures, of him come we all, and the people also whom thou hast chosen. 6:55. All this have I spoken before thee, O Lord, because thou madest the world for our sake. See, the Most High God made this world for the Israelites, for us to run it, for us to enjoy it, for us to dominate other people. The Most High God made this planet for us. He made us to rule, okay? But because we don't do what He says, we have been destroyed. These other nations have gotten up above us. 6:56. As for other people that are not Israelites, okay, which also come of Adam, thou hast said that they are nothing. You know what nothing means, okay? The Most High God said they are nothing, okay? But be like unto spit, okay? The Most High God said they are like spit, and as likened the abundance of them unto a drop that falleth from a vessel. So if I have this cup here and a little bit falls out, you're not really sweating it because you still got what? A lot left. So that's how the Most High God looks at them. He's like, it's like that little drop that you drop on the ground. That's that little droplet that drops on the ground. You ain't worried about that. You worried about what you got left in here. And that's how the Most High God feels about the nation of Israel compared to the heathen nations. As for other people, which also come of Adam, thou hast said that they are nothing, but be like unto spittle, and as likened the abundance of them into a drop that falleth from a vessel. Okay? And 6:57, we'll go a little farther in that. Okay, and it says, and now, O Lord, behold, these heathen, notice that they call them heathens. That's why I'm saying it to you. I didn't make the word up. The Bible calls them heathens, okay? And now, O Lord, behold, these heathen, which have ever been reputed as nothing, they have always been considered as nothing. You hear that, black man, Hispanic man, Native Indian man, woman? The Most High God said they have always been nothing. Again, this is not these Officer Coleman's words. This is in the Bible. This is in the Apocrypha. As it's 2nd Ezra 6:54, start there. And now, O Lord, behold, these heathen, which have ever been reputed as nothing, have begun to be lords over us and to devour us. These people are ruling over us. Why? Because we won't keep God's law, statutes, and commands. That's why they're ruling over us. And they are devouring us. Look what's going on with the police. Look what the police did to George Floyd. Look what just happened to the brother Ahmaud Arbery. And I can go on. We know this has been going on for thousands and thousands of years. I mean, this is nothing new. But they are devouring us because why? Because we don't have the Most High God's protection. Because we left the Most High God's law, statutes, commands, and we're not protected. So it's open season on Israel. Okay. 2nd Ezra 6:58. But we thy people, again, whom thou hast called thy firstborn. Firstborn means above everyone. Just like your firstborn child is your firstborn. Okay, he gets a double portion. Your firstborn is your firstborn. And the Lord is saying that the Israelites are his firstborn. It don't matter about no other people on this earth. The firstborn is the nation of Israel, blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, First Nation people. But we thy people, whom thou hast called thy firstborn, thy only begotten, and thy fervent lover are given into their hand. See? Look at that term. Given into their hand. Given, meaning we were with the Most High God when we kept his law, statutes, commands, but because we don't obey him, what did he do? Give us over to them. That's what he does. He gave us over to these nations because why? Because we wanted to keep their customs. We wanted to be like them. We thought that what the Most High God gave us was not good enough. We want to conduct ourselves like them. So you know what? The Most High God said, like a father who has a child that's unruly and wants to go against everything that you taught that child. Okay, this is what you want out here. You want to go out here and follow this? Here, go ahead. I'll give you over to them. And we're going to see what's going to happen to you. And look what's happened to us. We came over on Carver slave ships. We had children, our women had children ripped out of their stomachs. Brothers and sisters, put them on auction blocks, having their children taken away from them and never see them again. Brothers were shot. Brothers and sisters were thrown overboard during the transatlantic slave trade, the Middle Passage. I mean, I can go on. We know what's going on here in America, what the cops are doing to us today. So, yes, shalom, brother, shalom, bro. Yeah, we are stiff-necked. We are stiff-necked people. We know that. We definitely are stiff-necked people. That's Israel. So, because these things are happening to us, this is telling you, this is proof and letting you know that we are the Israelites, because the Most High God is not protecting us because we won't do what he says. And as a father, if you're a father, a parent, you understand that, if your child disobeys whatever it is you're telling them, that's like a slap in the face, man. So, and the best way for them to learn is what? Is to let life teach them. And that's what's happening to us right now. We're out here without our God protecting us, and the white man is tearing us apart, man, tearing us apart. We're tearing each other apart, and we're destroying people. And it's as simple as, getting back to the law, statutes, and commandments of the Most High God. We've tried everything. We tried the Muslim mosque, the Christian church, the conscious community. We listen to rappers, entertainers, celebrities. There's nothing we haven't done, but the only thing we haven't done is keep the law, statutes, and commandments of the Most High God. That's what we haven't done. And until we do that, we're going to stay in this situation. Let's go into let's get the next scripture. Okay, let's go to Malachi 1:1 up to verse 2. Okay, so the book of Malachi, verse 1:1. The burden of the word of the Lord to Israel by Malachi. And the reason why I wanted to say that first is because, of course, we know Malachi is an Israelite who, during this time, he was, sending messages to the nation of Israel. And again, that's the point. The word of the Lord to Israel, not to nobody else. And Israel, of course, is blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. Nobody else, okay? So understand this Bible is not for nobody else. It's for us. So if anybody's telling you that the Bible is a white man's book, or that get that out of here, that some man wrote that, look, don't listen to that. The Bible is our book. It's the only thing that has our true history. It's the only thing that you can look at and really get your true history and learn who you are. You're not going to get it in a public school. You're not going to get it in charter school. You're not going to get it online on YouTube, following the conscious community. You're not going to get it nowhere. But this Bible is going to tell you who you really are. Okay, Malachi 1:2. I have loved you, saith the Lord. He's talking to Israel. Remember, this is the Lord sent this message to Malachi to Israel. I have loved you, saith the Lord. Yet ye say, wherein hast thou loved us? So that's again, Brother Maine. That's the stiff-neckedness of us right there. We got the nerve to say, how has the Lord loved us? And why do we say that? Why? Because we live in the projects, right? Because there's rats and roaches where we lay our heads. There's brothers are being gunned down in the street. You know what I mean? We're going to the slavery, our jobs, and the white man rules over us, right? In our own homes, and the black woman dominates us in our homes. The reason why this is happening is because you are not keeping God's laws. That's why it's happening. So where do we have the power and authority to say, wherein hast thou loved us, God? How can you say that to the Most High God? No. What's happening to us is a just thing because we are not obeying our Father. So you can't say, wherein hast thou loved us? Okay? And then it says, was not Esau Jacob's brother, saith the Lord, yet I love Jacob. So he's telling you that Esau is Jacob's brother. He came from the same parents that we did, but he chose us. He could have did whatever he wanted to do. He didn't have to choose us, but he did. So just knowing that, black man, knowing that you as a black man, even though you're destroyed here in America and have been lied to all your life and been in the situations that you're into, knowing that the Most High God chose you of all people, even though really, honestly, we haven't been worthy of it because we're not keeping this. We want to continue eating pork, crab, shrimp, lobster. We want to keep smoking weed. We want to keep celebrating holidays. We don't want to do nothing the Most High God says. And we're supposed to be his children. I mean, just think about it. That's like a slap in the face. I mean, we're supposed to be the Most High God's severed nation, his children, and this is how we conduct ourselves. We want to be like heathens. So this is why the heathens rule over us. I mean, it's a just punishment because we're not doing what we're supposed to do. Now, if we do right, if we do what he says, then he'll put us above these people. That's what we're looking for. But we want Christ's kingdom to come. We want to be in rulership. And as a black man, Hispanic man, Native man, and woman, don't lie to yourself. That's what you want. I don't care if you have, so-called Edomite friends in the world, but you shouldn't. But I mean, you want to be in rulership. I know I do. Okay? I want to be in rulership. What about you, brother man? All right. All right. Let's go. So, okay. So now we know how we got into the situation. We know now it's high time. We know that we're supposed to be, following God's laws, statutes, commands. Okay. So let's get into that a little bit. Let's get Deuteronomy 27:1. Okay. And Moses, with the elders of Israel, commanded the people. Again, Moses is a Levite brother, a so-called Haitian. He was a leader at this time on our captivity in Egypt, saying, keep all the commandments which I command you today. Don't just keep some of them, keep all of them. All of them. There's over 600 something laws in the Bible. And the laws are not grievous. I know it sounds like a lot. I know you think that you might not be able to stop getting, shake-ups. I know that you think that you can't put down the pork, crab, shrimp, and lobster. You got to keep rolling another. You got to roll your last blunt up. Listen, brothers in the truth came out of that life, and they're in the truth now, and they don't do that no more. You know why? Because they're new men now. They put away the old man. They're in the truth, and they want to do what the Most High God says. It's not hard to do. Being in the truth is not hard. It's not hard to keep the laws. Okay? It's just not hard. You shake the Christianity off. Stop listening to that lying-ass Christian pastor. Get out of the Muslim mosque. Don't type in your YouTube, the conscious community. Don't pay no attention to that. Get in the Ashibike and the Command of Junior Honor. We got classes Monday through Friday, 7 to 9. We got the Sabbath service. And then we got, Command and Junior Honor as Blackwash. We got, General Hyman, General Mayat. There's so many of them. We have classes, Ask You the Prophets. We got, Delaware. We got so many. Chicago. I mean, it's everywhere. There's no reason for you not to understand the truth or get in this truth. All you got to do is just type it in your YouTube, watch the class from 7 to 9, and you're going to get this truth, and you're going to understand, where you've been lied to and what's been going on in your life all this time. You'll understand it, and this is the only truth. Don't waste your time getting into the fake Israelite groups. You tried Christianity, we know that don't work. You tried the Muslim mosque, that doesn't work. I mean, you tried everything. Get in this truth in the Ashib Command and Junior. That's what you need to do. Again, Deuteronomy 27:1. And Moses, with the elders of Israel, commanded the people, saying, keep all the commandments which I command you this day. Okay, so Moses is telling the Israelites at that time, keep all the laws. This is for your own good. This is for our own good. We have to keep the laws. Listen, there's no shortcuts around this. There's no shortcuts around it. You're the children of the Most High God, Yahweh. You cannot be a sinner and continue to sin and think that the Most High God don't see what you do or see what you're doing. Just think about it, black man. Why does it seem like you can never get over the hump with anything? Why does it seem like you're at the bottom of the barrel with everything? Economics, the job structure. Everything. You don't own anything. You're dominating every aspect of the game. You go into your own neighborhoods, and you got the Chinese man selling you chicken. You got the Arab man selling you blunts. You shouldn't be smoking weed anyway, but you go to the store, and these people you're the buyer and they're the seller in your own neighborhood. These people set up shop in your neighborhood and get rich, send their kids off to college while your kids die in the streets or go broke or in jail. This is telling you this is a curse. This is nothing that isn't right there for you to see. It's right there. You've lived it all your life. It's nothing different. Brother. Right. Right. If the Most High said it, right, it is money in the bank. We've learned to trust the Most High God. Through experiences that, like I said, as a black man in America, I don't know how you can't clearly see that we need the Most High God. There's nothing else that's going to save us. We want to put our faith in people like Joe Biden and all these other politicians and whatnot. We want to believe celebrities. We want them to lead us. We want to believe in Steve Harvey. Steve Harvey. Right. Christians, it's like yeah, Karen, brother. Christians do deny these curses. That all you got to do there is go to church, pay your tithes. You know what I mean? You can continue to be a sinner, and the Christian church conforms to you. You can join a different congregation that allows you to be a homosexual. You can go to a congregation that allows you to eat pork, crab, shrimp, and lobster. As long as you keep paying them tithes, and that pastor gets to ride around in his Range Rover, he gets the third jet. He got a Dapper Dan suit on. It's all good. But not here in the Ashibike and the Command and Junior Honor. You got to keep all the laws. You got to keep them all. There's no compromise here. And the Most High God, Yahweh, does not compromise for anyone. He does not conform to man. Man conforms to him. Okay? So again, from the top, Deuteronomy 27:1. And Moses with the elders of Israel commanded the people, saying, keep all the commandments which I command you this day. So Israel, blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, we got to keep the laws. No shortcuts around it. There's no excuse. And it's high time. It is time right now. We got to keep his laws. Okay. You want to get caught, you know what I mean? With you're not keeping these laws, and and Yahweh should come back and be like, nigga, what was you doing? You know what I mean? Why ain't you, why ain't you in this truth? Why aren't you paying attention? And what you gonna say? What you gonna say? Right, Gators, right. They might have something new now, bro. They might have something new. Let me see. Okay, let's get Deuteronomy 28:1. And it shall come to pass that thou shalt hearken diligently unto the voice of the Lord thy God, meaning listen, be active in listening diligently unto the voice of the Lord thy God to observe. I mean, now you're starting to hear this. You're starting to hear like, oh, we ain't supposed to eat pork, crab, shrimp, and lobster. We ain't supposed to get shape-ups, no tattoos. We got to stay out of that Christian church. You're observing these things, okay? And to do all his commandments. Now you heard it. Now let's put it into action. Let's do it now. So you heard it. The priests and the prophets of the Asher decade coming out in the streets in your city, they're teaching this truth that was taught to them by commanding during Johanna. And now you're hearing this. Okay. Now it's not enough to just be an Israelite and hear this. You got to actually put it to action. Like Christ said, what is your works? What works did you do? You know what I mean? What works did you put any work? Did you put your brick in this nation? Did you do any work? It's not enough to just be an Israelite. Okay. To do all his commandments, which I command thee this day, that the Lord thy God will set thee on high above all nations of the earth. Set thee on high. There's your racism again. You keep God's law, statutes, commands. You do all his commandments. Now God is going to put you above these people. The very people that enslaved you, put you in the transatlantic slave trade, murdered and raped our ancestors, our people, continue to murder us today. The Lord thy God is going to put you above them. Isn't that what you want, black man, Hispanic man, Native Indian man, or woman? You mean to tell me you don't want revenge on these people? You don't want to be above these people? Don't lie to yourself. You know you do. You know you do. I don't know who doesn't want to. You don't want to see them get what's coming to them. You don't have to do nothing physically. You don't have to do anything yourself. You're not supposed to. But that, like the Most High God said, vengeance is mine. Let the Most High God handle them. All you got to do is do what God said, and He'll do it for you. It's like He did in Egypt. When Pharaoh and the Africans and the Hamites were oppressing us, and we cried out to Him, and what the Most High God do? Destroyed them damn Africans and speaking Africans. You know what I mean? Again, right? Calm. The laws are not grievous. They're not hard to keep. You can do it. You can do it, black man, Hispanic man, Native Indian man. One more time from the top, 28:1. And it shall come to pass that thou shalt hearken diligently unto the voice of the Lord thy God, to observe to do all his commandments, which I command thee this day, that the Lord thy God will set thee on high above all nations of the earth. And all nations of the earth, that means other people other than blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. He's going to put us above them. Isn't that a great thing? Black, Hispanics, and Native Indian men and women. Don't you want to rule? Don't you want to be above them? Don't you want to go? Matter of fact, not go to a slavery. Don't you want to wake up and be like, make your phone calls while they're working for you? Don't you want to do that? Don't you, you know what I mean? Don't you want to spend more time with your family and not have to worry about, going to work and some oppressor telling you that you was a minute late or that you're fired today because, he just didn't like the way you look. I mean, this is what they do. This is what the oppressor does. So don't you want to be put in that position where you ain't got to worry about him breathing on your neck or taking away from you from your livelihood? The answer is serving the Most High God behind it. That's the only answer. It ain't Joe Biden. It ain't Donald Trump. It ain't no politician. It ain't none of these cool Negro leaders. It ain't none of that. It ain't damn sure ain't your Christian pastor. He's not gonna help you. He's just more concerned about getting a plate from your wife, and what he can, his new gators and dumping you in the tub and then saying you're free of your sins. So don't listen to none of that. You know what I mean? The Lord thy God Yahweh is the answer to all your your oppression. Let's go to the next. Let's go to the next scripture. Matthew 9:17. Neither do men put new wine into old bottles, else the bottles break, and the wine runneth out, and the bottles perish. But they put new wine into new bottles, and both are preserved. So what this is basically saying is, you're trying to come into the truth. You have to get rid of the old man, the old you. The old you is the new spirit cannot live in this body if you have even 2% of the old you in that body. You have to get rid of all that old sinner in you. You have to get rid of all of it so that new wine can come in here. So you can be a new vessel and have a new spirit and be a new person. If the old person, it's going to always dominate the new person if you allow them to be there. You got to get it all out of you. Meaning, there ain't no more that last blunt. You got to get that out of here. You can't have you can't eat no more of that pork, that crab, that shrimp, that lobster. Okay, you can't do anything that you used to do if you want to be in this truth and be a new person, a new vessel to the Most High God. You got to get rid of all that. You know what I mean? That the old man. Like, look at the bottle. The bottle is like it has a crack in it. If there's still an old you or some old wine there, that means it has a crack in that bottle. And what's going to happen? The new wine's going to leak out of that bottle, which means ultimately the vessel is going to be destroyed, and that's you. So again, you have to get rid of the old you. You have to let it go. Whether it's people keeping you in that old world, objects, material things, whatever, let it go. Serve the Most High God, Yahweh. Nothing can compare to serving the Most High God and getting this kingdom and ruling. I don't give a damn what this world has to offer compared to that. Okay, some of us might lose. You might lose some children. You might, people, your family might hate you. You might lose your wife, your husband, and you might lose a place of employment, slavery, or whatever. But guess what? That's a sacrifice you might have to take to serve the Most High God, and it's worth it. There's nothing that's more worth it than that. Okay, let's get into the next scripture. Okay, we're going to go to Hosea 4:16. 4 and 6, Salakia. My people are destroyed for a lack of knowledge. Again, my people. I always like to say blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. He's always talking to them. My people are destroyed for a lack of knowledge. Lack of knowledge about what? These laws, statutes, commands. That you don't know that you're the Israel. You don't know that we're Israelites. We don't know our real history. We don't know our homeland. We don't even know what our real language is. We've been brought up here to America, which you an African American. You a nigga. You a spick. You whatnot. Yeah, I mean, this is what we've been taught. You're black. I mean, like I said, we have been destroyed for a lack of knowledge because thou hast rejected knowledge. Because you reject this Bible, you reject what the Most High God's trying to tell you. This is heavy because you hear the priests and prophets and the SBK teaching this, over and over, week after week, class after class in the streets. But you reject it. You walk past, you mock the prophets, you throw stuff, you yell, you scream white power. I mean, of course, this isn't for the devils, but of our own people. I mean, these are personal experiences that happened at camp in Pittsburgh, which I love. I mean, I love the personal experiences. But so, our own people want to, mock us and laugh at us and whatnot. But the bottom line is you're rejecting knowledge. So how do you think the Most High God is going to deal with you when that time comes? He put the truth right there for you to see it, but you want to laugh, you want to mock, you want to make a mockery of the prophets when we're out here trying to save you. I mean, we could be doing a lot of things. A lot of brothers came out of the world, at our world, and we devote our time to trying to raise up our people, which is what our real job is. We all have slaveries, but our real job is to save our people. So, because thou hast rejected knowledge, I will also reject thee. You see that? The Most High God said, because you reject this word, you reject this truth, the Most High God's going to reject you. So when something happens to you, when you celebrate Christmas and that damn Christmas tree burns down your house, or you celebrate Halloween and then the kids swallow some glass and some nerds, or you celebrate 4th of July and you light the grill up and the damn grill lights your whole yard on fire, then you're going to be saying, well, what happened? What happened, God? God saved me. But the Most High God said, I will also reject thee because you rejected knowledge. That thou shalt be no priest to me, seeing thou hast forgotten the law of thy God. I will also forget thy children. So the Most High God he's going to turn his back to you. But then remember your children. Your children will be affected by it. So not only you will be affected by this, but the children come after you, they're going to be affected by it. Because why? Because you rejected knowledge. Now they have no knowledge, and now they're affected. So this is heavy. This is heavy. So if you know anything about this truth, if you know the ISBK, you see Commander Junior High, you see the classes, get in this truth, because not only will this help you, this is going to help your family that comes after you. And that's important because you're coming back too. Whether you in this lifetime, however long you live, and whatever, you're coming back. Okay, so you're gonna come back. You'll come back. So if you're doing wrong, you're gonna pay for it at some point in this life or the next. So, but get in this truth. Like I said, Monday through Friday, 7 to 9. We have classes. Saturday morning, I believe it starts at around 10. There's no excuse. There's no excuse. So, let me get one more scripture. Okay, so all right, so of course we know that again this is high time, and a lot of us, especially in the Christian church, we like to say that we love God, right? Everybody loves God. If you ask somebody, do you love God? They're gonna say, yeah, yeah, I love God. You know what I mean? Of course I love God. I love Jesus is in my heart. You know what I mean? Jesus. I sing and dance with Jesus. This is what Christians will tell you, right? But but they don't never actually do what Christ says. They never do what Yahweh Shai says. Okay, so here we go. 1 John 5:3. For this is the love of God. So this is how you know if you love God. And again, a lot of brothers deal with you got unruly ribs, husbands are not the truth, and they swear they know they have a relationship with Jesus. They swear they have a personal relationship. They're gonna take pastor a plate. You're gonna celebrate his birthday. To them, the pastor is the greatest man on earth. And but this is how you know if you love God. That we keep his commandments, and his commandments are not grievous. Just like you said, brother. The commandments are not grievous. They're not hard to keep. I don't want to hear that you love God if you're not doing what he says. You don't love God if you continue to eat pork, crab, shrimp, or lobster. You don't love God if you continue to roll blunts. You don't love God if you continue to hate your brothers and sisters or murder your brothers and your sisters. Okay? The bottom line is, and again, this is in the Bible. This is not my words. I'm just reading to you what the scriptures say. If you love God, you will do what he says. Just like your children, if they love you, they will do what you say. Just like you supposedly did what your parents told you to do. That's how you know you love them. And you can say whatever. You can say, "Oh, I love you," but we know love is an action. It's long suffering, and you will suffer whatever because you love somebody. And if you love the Most High God, you will put away your personal feelings of what you love or lust to do what He says. So again, I'm in the class with that. And again, this is the Thursday class. I'm a police officer Kungawan, and this is actually became the commanding general in Hana. And again, we have these classes Monday through Friday, 7 to 9. And on Saturday, also we have the Sabbath service. And again, don't waste your time getting in any of these fake Israelite groups, who are really Christian groups, Muslim mosques either. And with that, I'm going to say shalom.